Hello and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes. My name is Lindsay Milner and I am the owner of Silver and Training, and we work with people to help them to have an amazing work experience, to help them learn to love Mondays and get the most out of their working life. And while I've been engaged in this business, I have read a great deal of books. And I thought it might be interesting to share some of the insights that I've gained from those books with you. Mainly books on business development, personal development, effective management, and books on thinking. This week's book is actually something a little different, although very loosely it does come into the realm of personal development. It is called Break the Crave system. It's by Bridgette Hamilton. It's 7 effortless steps to lifelong weight loss, or 7 steps to effortless lifelong weight loss. Let's get it right. Can't even read it. This is one of those books that falls into the category of people have written it as an introduction to them and their system and their business, and obviously to get you to want to work with them. I mentioned some of these books before, and I think some of them are successful and some of them not so much. Some of them I think don't quite stand up on their own, and that I think is a problem. But this one, I will say, it does stand up on its own. You don't have to then say, yes, I need to work with you, Bridgette Hamilton, because your book suggests it. It's a good idea. The book does kind of stand up by itself. The essential point of it is that we're addicted to sugar. Not everybody, but a lot of people find that they're addicted to sugar, and that is the cause of their weight problem. And she advocates a sugar-free diet. By diet, not a diet as in I must stick to this regime to lose weight, but more of a lifestyle change to adjust your diet to cut out sugar. Now, I first read this book actually around about a year ago, just after I started on my own weight loss journey. I've since lost about 3.5 stone, not using her methods, so I'm going to be completely upfront here and say that I did not follow this method. And my thinking really was that I kind of agree with what she says, but I didn't feel that I was going to be able to follow through and completely cut out sugar, which is what she is advocating. It's her own story. She talks about how she discovered that the source of her weight problem was sugar addiction, and how she has then taken a sugar-free approach to her eating. It kind of goes counter to a lot of what the diet industry has told us over the years, that, fat is the enemy. Eat fat because it fills you up and stops you from eating too much sugar, and it helps you to actually lose the weight. Bridgette Hamilton does work in a practice in Nottingham in the East Midlands, and if you look at her website, there's lots of testimonies from people who have had success. She is a qualified nutritionist, hypnotherapist, so lots of support, ways for her to support you to lose the weight. In terms of the book, if I take the book just by itself, it's written in a very personal style. Her personality comes across. You can tell that she kind of buys into what she's saying. The enthusiasm is totally there. And I think if you are interested in exploring the sugar-free approach, then, have a look at the system. One of the reasons why I think this loosely falls into my category of personal development is if you want to be healthy and happy, then if you've got excess weight to lose, then a healthy diet is obviously quite crucial to that. So I figure that if you've failed in the past, and haven't we all? I mean, the number of years and diets that I've been on. You know, I've tried most of them. I'm not going to say all because, you know, nobody's tried it all, but I've tried so many diets, and finally I found a method that works for me. But I think the sugar-free approach is kind of probably a little bit too much of a stretch for me. However, having just reread it for the purpose of this review, I do feel inspired to try and cut out a lot of the processed carbs. I don't add a lot of sugar, but I do eat some processed carbs. So yeah, so it's kind of inspiring. I feel that maybe I should try to reduce the processed carbs in my diet, because obviously, as you can probably see, I'd still like to lose a little bit more. So yeah, it's a good read, and if you've tried lots of diets in the past and or feel that your diet is not as healthy as it could be, and that in itself is helping you to feel less happy, less contented with life, less motivated at work because you don't have the energy, then I think there's a lot in this book that is worth investigating and reading. It is a fairly entertaining read. As I say, her personality comes through and her enthusiasm comes through. There's humour in there. Yeah, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, but I would certainly say that if you are interested in looking at the sugar-free approach, then you know, the book is definitely worth reading. So that's this week's book in 5 minutes. As I say, something slightly different, but it does all help to make sure we're healthy and happy and able to contribute at work. So yeah, I hope you'll forgive me for stretching the category a little bit this week. I'm Lindsay Milner. This week's book, Break the Crave System by Bridgette Hamilton. That's a book in 5 minutes-ish. Until next time, bye.